This is not Afghanistan or Somalia, it's Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, and these women are testifying in a landmark trial. They're veiled for their own protection. The defendants are soldiers from the Congolese army, accused of mass rape and looting. 39 soldiers and officers, up to the rank of lieutenant colonel, are on trial in a military court. Over 1,000 victims of rape and looting have been recorded. Yet is justice being done? An estimated 1.8 million women have been raped in their lifetime in Congo. Despite the laws against sexual violence being revised in 2006, justice has never been taken seriously as a deterrent here, and a culture of impunity has prevailed, until now.
Bonjour Laurent.
Nadine Saiba Mbila is an associate of a law firm in the regional capital, Goma. She's one of the prosecuting lawyers in what could be a historic case.
Pour moi, ce procès, c'est pour moi un signal fort par rapport à la lutte contre l'impunité. C'est un signal fort pour la répression des crimes de masse. Il y a une correspondance que les conseils de Inso nous avaient écrite à... Mais aussi, je viens pour la protection du bien-être de mes clientes qui attendent de leur vœu la justice au Congo. Oui, oui.
Mais c'est toujours mieux de partager l'information.
Today, Nadine is going with a psychologist, Pirette Savita, to Minova, the town where the Congolese army raped at least 76 women and children in November 2012. The area is still heavily militarized, and there are many thousands of disbanded militia. Both the witnesses and lawyers have been threatened and intimidated.
Tout déplacement, toute action constitue une insécurité. Toute action, mon interview, ça constitue une insécurité. J'irai et je sais que le long du chemin, c'est trop militarisé, mais on doit bien faire participer ces personnes-là. Donc dans mon cœur, c'est vrai que je suis un peu anxieuse, un peu stressée, mais je dois arriver là pour préparer ces victimes.
Minova was an ordinary market town, but the local people will never forget that night when several thousand Congolese army troops arrived. They had been ordered to withdraw from Goma, leaving their own families vulnerable to the invading M23 rebels. Angry and frustrated, the soldiers punished the townspeople. This woman was raped and sodomized by 3 soldiers that night.
Mimi sitakujisikiaka hata siku moja ni maisha sitasahau. Inanilumisha sio kama ndakwaka mpaka kufa yangu.
She's already testified in court and found the experience of being a witness a terrible ordeal.
Tulikuwa tunaogopa kwanza, mie nilitetemekaka kabisa mwezeni kufa. Boga manake hatuya unako bia vile. Sasa bato walikuwa nakamatia bure. Maake mtu anatetemeka na kusamba boga, na vingine unaweza sema ni vya bongo saa moya juu ya boga.
Nadine and Pirette have arrived in Minova. The women know how distressing it is for the rape survivors to come to court and are here to prepare them. Pirette has been working with one woman who was dragged from her hut and raped by a soldier. At the time, her baby was only 2 months old.
La première fois que je me suis rencontrée avec elle, elle était timide. Elle était honteuse. Elle était trop émotive, donc elle pleurait. Elle ne parvenait pas à bien parler. Donc c'était juste un traitement d'abord psychologique. Elle a accepté qu'elle pourrait être prête à parler à la justice pour que la justice soit faite.
Yenya ananiambia iko na maana na kisi iko na maana, mimi najisikia kufarishika juste ya kuwaona roho inatuliaka na mimi nasahau.
The local population don't believe the right soldiers are on trial and think they might even still be in the area. Surrounding Minova are more than 2,000 disbanded militiamen in limbo. Colonel Habarugira is one of them. His men took part in the devastation of Minova in November 2012.
Mais chez nous, nous considérons comme une mascarade. Quand même, quelque part, là où nous avons été dans la salle, en entrant les premiers jours, quand les présumés se présentaient, on voyait que non, ce sont des nouvelles figures. Ça, vraiment, on a été confus, mais bon, on ne sait pas c'était quelle manœuvre que le gouvernement a mis en place pour arrêter ces présumés. Jusque-là, vraiment, nous ne sommes pas sûrs et certains que ce sont les militaires qui ont été amenés chez nous, qui avaient fait les viols ici chez nous.
Locally, the suspicion is that Colonel Habarugira ordered his men to rape. He denied the allegations, yet he seemed heavily dependent on his advisors sitting beside him. That's when they started.
Hakuna shida yenyewe ilikuwa pale, population ilinipokea bien. Ni kusema nami penye nilipita kama nilifanya kitendo mubaya, justice itanifuatiliaka ini azibu.
Below the camp, some people still live in fear of him.
Tunaogopa kuenda kushamba, tunaenda kushamba tunaogopa, ruba tatukuta kule wanatuviole. Banyatura. Ya babindi wako hapa hii kwa mulima, bakapanda. Habarugira.
Since then, Colonel Habarugira has left the transit centre, taking his men with him into the forest.
No high-ranking element of the Congolese army stood trial. From the top of my head, I can already mention 2 or 3 generals that I would have liked to see at least stand trial, but that never happened. They didn't fly well with the political regime.
In Goma, the regional capital, it's another day in court, and Nadine is getting ready.
Quand il s'agit d'autres dossiers judiciaires, le noir de ma robe, qui est le noir qui symbolise beaucoup de choses, le mal, l'injustice, le vol, le viol. Et quand je vois le rabat blanc, je vois la justice, je vois l'équité, la réparation, je vois la lueur et la lumière, l'espoir de ces femmes-là.
Kubasambisha italetea mwingine voga. Mbele ndiyo ilikuwa, haikukuwa na mkazilili. Iletaleta voga itabaonyesha kuacha.
One of the most significant charges against these soldiers is of officers failing to control their men. It's been levelled because only one of the raped women was able to identify her assailant.
Wende umugusi. Nikirudia nyuma, nikienda kwa walikuwa nakala juu walikuwa wafungwa wa mingi, nikienda niseme njoo huyu. Nikimgusa sasa nilimgusaka, sasa walisoma dossier na jina yake wakikutana ni yake.
This is the man she identified. The reason she's so certain is because he's missing a finger, which she noticed the night she was raped.
Ndenge na boya ki pa magistrat mwasi basamba kanaye likambo te ngai zangaite isalat ngaite ndena boya ke na mwasi basamba kanaye eske mwasi mutaka kende ku bat bazako ku kende ku violer ku yiba ku salbilo oh alala ngaite.
And Second Lieutenant Sabwe says he's got a cast iron alibi.
Ngai loke ko kata likambawa ezali ba docteur bazu wangai ngayo bacha ngaita bakraka na bakad baken ba mek ngai soki ngai na telemak pona na kuviole mutu kulala na mwasi.
And he doesn't feel he's seen much justice.
Te na kuro yo pona sana avoka ya usambila ngaite na kote nan bulok ya boite mendende na yo kumoni bulok ya boina so kamu ya tro ngai na viola kiti.
It's the day of the verdict. It's just 5 months since this military trial for war crimes started. For Nadine, this will be one of the most important decisions of her career.
Et moi, le verdict, c'est vrai que je n'ai pas une obligation des résultats, c'est l'obligation des moyens, mais je me bats pour que ces femmes puissent revenir, être rétablies dans leurs droits. C'est ça le verdict que je veux.
When the trial started, 40 men were accused of war crimes, including rape. Since then, 1 man has died in prison and only 27 were detained. 5 of the senior officers accused of failing to control their troops were never compelled to appear in court. It's time for the men to hear their fate. None of the witnesses have come because it's thought to be too dangerous for them. Second Lieutenant Sabwe is one of the only 2 accused of rape as a war crime who've been found guilty. He's been sentenced to life imprisonment. 18 other soldiers were found guilty of looting. All of the 5 senior officers were cleared. As those found guilty are graphically stripped of their rank, whatever the flaws of this trial, the limited successes should also be acknowledged. It has been brought to a conclusion. Many witnesses did come to testify at great risk, and there were convictions for rape as a war crime, albeit just 2. But if Congo is ever going to rid itself of the title of rape capital of the world, there needs to be a much stronger form of justice. The cost to society for impunity is still running very high.
Sitakuwa bien mama, sitakuwa kata bien mu maisha yangu, sijue mimi naonaka na maiti yenye nakufa na nishinda valeni problem mama.
Pale na inanikumbusha tu kuroho, nasikia ni kidonda yenye iko kuroho yenye haezi pona.